Um, okay, I just wanted to really quickly do a quick video on the biggest mistake I made this week in trading. And it's always good to highlight the mistakes that you made so you can learn from them. But as a trader, you make so many mistakes throughout the week that, at the very least, maybe we can consider some of the bigger mistakes that you made, and hopefully try not to fall into them again. So the biggest mistake that I made this week was right here on this candle, on this daily candle here. And the reason why is because I was very much like acknowledging this trend line, and we had tapped up to this level on the trend line, and then we dumped on this candle. And oftentimes, I mean, pretty much every single time before here, every time we've touched the trend line, we've had a major dump, major dump, major dump. Even here kind of started the dump, right? Here it doesn't quite touch the trend line, but you know what I'm saying. It marks a major dump. And so I'm not sure if necessarily that is a bad way to be looking at it, but I think the crucial context that I was kind of ignoring was the strength here. And I had been talking about it kind of all week that, we're in a channel here, and the majority of the bars in this channel, uh, 10 or 11 bars, they're only one, two, two red bars. Everything else is green. Every day is bullish day. And then we finally got this super strong dump out. And what I said, and I posted on my Twitter, was give me a retest of this 38 area and let me get into a short. And at the time it looked okay, but what ended up happening was we got this bar on the subsequent day, which does not look like a particularly impressive bar, but um, it ended up being the catalyst for this particularly very impressive bar, right? Super strong bar that breaks through and breaks back up. And throughout the day, I don't think I traded at all during this day. I think I took like one little scalp, like from 38,500 to 38,700 or something like that, like super quick, super small scalp, like it was like a 20-second trade or something like that. And the rest of the day, I think I was a little bit busy, so I didn't really do anything. Thank goodness I didn't do anything because I was a little bit, at least into this region, I was feeling bearish. I suppose that once we get to 38.5 and I take the long trade, I'm probably expecting that we're going to be going long, but I certainly didn't expect us to push all the way up into 42K, Oh, that's right. I actually did take another trade. No, it wasn't 38.5 to 38.7. It was 40.5 to 40.7. And actually, if I hadn't closed it as immediately as I had, I would have been able to ride it all the way up to here because it was the final move of the day going into the daily close. Anyway, that was a whatever. That's fine. That was a good decision. Like it was a nothing trade. Um, but the big mistake that I made was really ignoring this important context of all of the strength that bulls were showing, and then having the suggestivity in my mind that one red candle will eliminate all of the strength that bulls have been showing in this region. And I think a big part of that was that it was looking like a bear flag, right? We had strong spike down, and then we're flagging upward in this channel. But the problem with that was um, this flag goes on for much longer, I think, than we anticipate. I think if we are going to dump back down, probably here, or at least when we get this second test here, and then we push this in here, and then we bring this down here, at this point, we should probably expect to kind of roll over. And if we don't roll over, like we don't here, this dumps down, but then ends up closing outside up. It's just more confirmation that we're still on this channel and that bulls are definitely showing strength. They're not able to show significant strength here, making this a little bit of a doji and then like a strong dump. And that was a great trap. That was a great bear trap. And I certainly got trapped. And that was a mistake. And now we end up getting this super strong trend bar, opening basically at the low, closing basically at the high. And I do remember that in the final hour of the day is when it made its strongest, another strong ascent from, I think it had been consolidating around these 40K region, and then it pushed up into the 41. So we can even look at that and just confirm here. Yeah, we had kind of been consolidating here, and then this is the final hour, 15. Daily open happens at 16. This is the final hour, just a strong rally. And I think that I believe that the trade I took was this outside up bar here. Um, I don't remember if I buy on this outside up bar or here or something like that, but it's just like a $200 trade that I take, super small, not even like a 0.5% kind of thing. And yeah, that ended up being my trade. I think I even woke up like this happens overnight. Yeah, like I wake up at around 9:30. So I kind of, by the time I brush my teeth and all that stuff, maybe make breakfast and stuff like that, I might have already been on this candle here in the middle of 40s. So I think at this point I had kind of seen this bull surprise and was looking for longs. I was kind of hoping for 42 um, or 41 kind of thing. I believe I actually I did live call this. I have videos, I believe, so you can go check those out of my hour-to-hour analysis during this day. But yeah, this was definitely the biggest mistake that I made, and it's not a mistake that cost me any money. I guess it's opportunity cost because I didn't get to profit off of this move. But definitely the biggest mistake I made was going bearish here. And it's not to say that I was bullish throughout all of this and then I flipped bearish, but I was kind of waiting throughout all of this. And tight ranges are really not my forte. I'm not very good at trading tight ranges, so I typically try and stay out of them or just take minor scalps in the within the range kind of thing. Um, but when we broke out of here, I kind of got, okay, I guess, it's time to go. It's time to go short. And when you have this much strength, it just doesn't look like it's going to, right? Like it looks like maybe you're going to get a push into this region. But even with that, I wasn't bearish for new lows. I was bearish for something like this, and then the next day probably another spike because we had seen such strong um, buying in this region, or rather such weak selling, I suppose. And so then you get this really strong up buying bar, and this is kind of like this is an all-in long now bar because why? if you are if you shorted this candle or this candle or God forbid any of these candles, right? If you have a short in like 38K region, 37K region, and you wake up and the price is 42,000 or $41,000, what are you supposed to do? Or worse, if you've shorted mid 30s, you're in big, big, big trouble. And when you get this bar, of course, a lot of this is going to be short liquidations, right? There's going to be a huge, like, and a lot of squeezing going on here, and a lot of shorts getting liquidated for sure. But um, there's still shorts who have not been liquidated. There's still shorts who are picking up shorts in these regions and thinking, I'm going to have a stop above this 43,000 area, or they just happen to short this level and they're still waiting because they're expecting, okay, this is going to be the final push up and then we're going to start to dump back down. But then you get this candle. First of all, you get the insanely strong closing basically at the high. For all intents and purposes, this is closing at the high, right? And then you get this candle, which doesn't look, it's not strong at all for bears. Like, this is a daily candle, so it was very, very consolidation day, but it's a consolidation that occurs at the high extreme of the candle. All of this is untouched. Anybody who's bought anywhere during this candle, they're feeling good about their long because, they're not in danger of being pushed underwater. And we even do take a higher high during this day. So now on a candle per candle basis, we put in a higher high and a higher low, right? And even though it's a red doji, but it's a red doji near the high of the candle. So the next day, it's only natural for us to continue to push higher. And what are you thinking if you have shorts? When you see this candle, you're feeling like shit. And when you see this candle, you're not feeling hopeful. When you see this candle, your only hope is that the subsequent day does something like this. And then you can maybe get out of your short and not have to lose so much money. But when this happens, you're panicked now. Now, this is creating an always in long situation because everybody has to buy. If you want to long, you have to buy. And if you are in a short, you have to buy because you have to get out of these shitty shorts where you shorted 37K and price is now 42K. So, and when you see this this candle that gave us a nothing, it's a 2% move on the entire day. Now you're worried that I may not get the 4, 5, 6% move that I'm hoping for to get out, maybe not quite break even, but to not have to take such a big loss. And it wasn't able to happen today. So now what do? Well, now any pullback you get, you have to get out. 1% pullback, I'm out. 0.5% pullback, I'm out. Especially when this continues to push higher and higher and higher. Now it's at 42,500, and yesterday you had the opportunity to get out at 41,200. You're feeling like shit. So even a 0.5% pullback or a 1% pullback back into the region where yesterday you were saying, no, I want to wait for more of a pullback. Now you have to take that. And then what do here? We push higher yet again. If you look at Ethereum, this is an outside up bar, this bar here. So now you really feel like shit. If you've been shorting Ethereum throughout here, you're in big trouble because you have this super strong bar here. This literally closes on the high. And great follow through. I mean, it's not a great follow through candle, but it's not a good follow through candle if you're in a short. And then this is an outside up bar. This bar tells you one thing: buy 3080, buy 3080. And what happens here? We're buying 3080. I suspect we're going to go higher overnight. I suspect we may wake up tomorrow morning, Monday morning, and be in the mid 31s. I suspect we're going to be taking a shot at this EMA here. I suspect that on Bitcoin, we should be taking a shot at the EMA here as well. And your only hope as a shorter is that we see some sort of reaction here at the EMA that kind of sends us back down. And maybe you can get out in this area. But it's not looking great right now. It's really not looking great. You're feeling like trash. You have to move your stop now, yet again, to I don't know where, maybe 45K. You have to give this a little bit of room to get a reaction because no doubt with the strength that we're exhibiting here, we might just take a spike up here and then dump. And you really can't be getting stopped out on the spike that precedes the dump. Then you should have taken your pullback here. So everybody is scrambling to get buys right now. And the type of thing that we're looking at, I mean, it's not necessarily just going to go like this, but we might do something like this, kind of grind up, and then maybe get another opportunity to buy back and then maybe push up a little bit higher before we get any sort of meaningful retracement back into the 30s. I do suspect that we should get a retracement back into the 30s at some point, and I do believe we should even make a lower low. But this is super strong, and we have broken the trend line, this major trend line. And so for that reason, at some point, once bulls start to exhibit some weakness, bears should be able to, pick up the pieces of their failed relationships. But in the meantime, everybody's scrambling to get long or to get out of shorts. And so this is kind of the big problem facing traders now. And as always, I've gotten off topic and gotten into just an analysis of what's going on. This is not meant to be forward looking. This is only meant to be backward looking. And this is just what I want to talk about. The biggest mistake that I made this week was falling into this trap here and becoming bearish. Even though I didn't actually take any shorts on this candle or this candle or this candle, I shouldn't have been looking for shorts. I should have been looking for longs because of the strength that was exhibited here, and that possibly would have been a great decision for me. So yeah, that was the biggest mistake that I made trading this week, and I should really start doing this every week. Who knows if I will? I just wanted to do this today. I did it kind of on a whim. But yeah, thanks for watching.